Minions of capital. What do you want? Minions of capital.
What strikes you about this? Indeed, it's a mystery. Great leaps of emotion. From anger to grief. You've seen dement, perhaps, in summary.
No,
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and a drop of... That's right. Pile it all on him now. He's...
So many this year, too? The spring is coming. No, it's already class with...
There is almost, but you need one.
Yeah.
Show me
These are...
the size fits, but not the soul.
Sire, he...
Racking those
The lieutenant, the old man. You've almost got him. Just the last little push.
You lost what?
His gaze, the rifle on the butt. You see Vespertine writing.
No one.
From
It doesn't matter if it was made in the right.
he's liking the old... This looked very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him later. A drop of... That's right. Pile it all on him.
Not a lot.
It's a... You...
Damn, he would have... So he saw you. Okay.
You know what? You're right. 4.4. Good. This feels
Like a...
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Beating. Got you.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him.
Oh,
The lieutenant... Hush. While the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I didn't... Nothing. And...
Mr. Dross.
Yes.
And you were looking.
The old...
Why?
You can...
I don't understand.
I'm all...
Are you... And if...
Click.
Yeah.
You got... Start with when he first saw him.
3
Joyce. He means...
wrinkled up whore. Yes. They moved in. I've seen that. Barely. I could see they've returned now. To show their real face. The face they don't... Them. Fucking. I didn't like that. Jealous. And that's...
This man... And to punish her.
Since she came...
Past the...
Hiding something.
In the freeze...
Did you?
No. I put them back. In the war.
A strange confusion.
I did. I could see...
You could tell.
He set the bruises.
You can't see bruises through a skull.
It quickly comes to you.
Oh,
Did you make that?
with a click.
Good for listening in, too.
Like that, too? Yes. I've been through... Yes. You turn...
Those you hear, the one...
How did you?
I can...
You had to.
I got...
Andy found use for it. A spear.
She...
You stare at them, too. In your... It's no good, Harry. Her voice rings in the evening air. It smells...
True. Twisted by psychopharmaceuticals. There's...
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. It helps if you have your eye on something there. Yes. No, I don't. The dead. Yeah.
It's as if something put the thought there to leave the flowers.
What do you mean, put?
A brief flash of terror.
Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I would... If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line, one more down.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days. Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof.
Across the water, on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village, made of grey cinder block houses, he's there, doing what exactly I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer, Special Consultant Heidelstein, is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this. As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification like a rotten tooth rising out of the water. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done? You could get more out of him. Enough. Take him in. Bend his arms behind his back and end this.
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It's the familiar put of hatred.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst. Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole pump full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. Intense, like animals, like those boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cop parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Quayamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on. feeding on drugs. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them. We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores...
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only there was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people might be worth investigating.
Syphilis is a disease Philip III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination. The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself. His son...
That is technically possible, although Philippe III was not actually...
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that mode of government. And those grotesque statues too. And what a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why? No. Cynical design cockroaches like you erected a new, ironic version of it. We tore it down with honest, working-class plastic explosives. But there it is again, grinning. Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity. Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor in Yekokata. Whores. Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placate.
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity with the unions.
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass.
Edgar.
He talks a big game about uprising and social base. They must have sent the smart one to some university in Le Jardin.
He's been sweet-talked by this Edgar. They must have met in person for such animosity to have developed.
You can't live alone.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to. Don't go straight for the kill. Exhaust everything else first. Soften him up.
I haven't approached anyone. I hid.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things. 20 years ago. Neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then.
That's around the time the Clares came to power.
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought. Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing...
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them, but he's insinuating something.
Glad? It's all good. I ain't going.
The old man stares despondently at the logs. It's like he's forgotten you're there. His lip curls into a snare. The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water.
Hey,
He acknowledges it. Here we go.
that bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen her labor and money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker. She was, and she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muscova bag over her shoulder that she called in, they say. On the eve of battle, ran away. Vanished like a piss stain.
No, that's not.
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter.
No, I guess it was not. She couldn't make the call
Here it is. The bend in the river.
because she was dead. Because the cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal, grasping her tit, and drowned. Or bled. Hard to say. She was going home, waddling, dressed in yellow, drunk like she often was. The ruins are black around her, and she had a yellow heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her, and the ruins. Someone shot her, or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. Oh, nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising.
Edgar didn't keep his part of. If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk. We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything. All you know is I saw it happen, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Her plump body, bobbing up and down in that canal like a cork. That chick yellow bag still on her, strangling her.
The same old free. There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody. And the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little...
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A petank maniac race traitor. I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. That one.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston.
Fat and plump. Like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross. Shoot me. Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face.
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day, the blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think. No, don't waste it. Put this lead in that better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
Hearing it may destabilize him. You sure you've gotten everything from him?
Yes, of course. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
He seems relieved. Could he have been worried for... He reminds him of himself. The same hatred. They are veterans of the same war. Somewhere west in Coal City, his enemy is lying in a dark room on a metal slider. In Loser Municipal, like he will too. Soon. Half of the war between these men is over. With an agitated gait, Satellite Officer Jean Heron Vichmer paces the jetty. 22 kilometers east. Police work? Patrol Officer Judith Minot replies, with a tinge of hope in her voice. Tinge of warmth, too, against the cold air rising from the water.
Glad? It's all gone. What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable moods.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat. Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here, but...
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
You come back for me? How about I go and...
What is this farce?
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world...
No, listen. Listen now. There it is again. To your north, as it has been since you came to the coast. Something completely different. It sounds like a bow. Very...
Maybe there is room for 3 on the boat. What?
What are you talking about? Is this...
Your skin crawls. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence. It's still there, and unfold.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you, with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesque. You feel your legs shaking under you, and your gun hands rise instinctively.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. The segmented antennae move with apprehension. Take long, deep breaths. Slow down your pulse. Don't move yet, and when you do, be light. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces the hiss is different from the strings you heard before. It says something else in a lower pitch. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. The creature lets out like laughter. A sweat drips from your brow. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of hissing and clicking. It extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned,
I got it.
for all time. The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. Its touch on your fingertip feels cold, ticklish. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen. It tastes like sugar, very faint. The odorless, mostly comprised of water. The limb before you is incredibly light, like eggshell. It's much lighter than a reed. You feel a warning. A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you have. Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small...
Maybe it is real. The pharaoh.
About now, the insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves, breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze. No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature. The faintest smell, like you've never felt before. Like burnt roses.
Careful. It may be poisonous.
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves, letting out that same apricot blossoms, white blossoms erupting, a sensation.
I exist. I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmalia, endemic to the Insulindia Isoma. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight. I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, by the soldiers of the revolution and I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions. until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the city. Tell me what it's like for you. Yes, holy is the Lord of hosts. Now, I will tell you what it's like for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit image shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations. I am at the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul, and in fact, few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain, even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. That must be incredibly hard. The arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're what, and when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Fat from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
In honor of your shit, Lieutenant Ephraitor, which you kept together in the face of total unrelenting terror, day after day. Detective arriving on the scene.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect? Yes, no one detected me for such a long, long time. For thousands of years. No one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. Dripping of blood that smells like strawberries. No, you are awake. I am real. Light is full. Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily. I think we should eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth.
Wait, so
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident. No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile simian, the pale too, came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all. It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. You are a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. You may not. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust, that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago when organisms first started breathing, only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day, or just forget? So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this.
It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think you should back away from the unstudied species now.
No, there is one more. Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class. She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Suddenly, there is silence. As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own, praying to you. Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, tough.
Perhaps it is preparing to eat its god.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror, like a and something under it. In the place it stood, bobbing the...
It's gone. Apparently, yes, like a water strider. Only... looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
in some kind of strange,
Our suspect is not looking so good.
What is it? What do you want from me?
Something is very wrong with him now.
See.
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and with fear and longing. The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that,
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is,
the trembling mouth appears to suck.
between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Nothing. Just dull staring. The last embers of...
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the...
I lost.
He turns his eyes to the reeds again.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid. This site is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the right?
Silence. You've gotten all you will out of this poor... The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched. The blacks of his eyes are receding. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of...
Old age and shock. The appearance of the phasmid in conjunction with the stress of the arrest. He spent his entire life. We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help.
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army.
Sounds an awful lot like.
It does. The RCM may descend from the... It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly...
Nice political thoughts rush through. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking about politics, with blood dripping down your thigh.
This is better preserved than the others. You can still read the sign. No. An upside...
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the face in the sea.
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets,
The skiff is swaying.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get, but for the sound of conversation on the water. Two men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought in. I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses?
That's right. And you're some kind of murder machine. Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it. That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton. Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much.
Vic, calm down.
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstad. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Kemar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Patrol Officer.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify.
We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
Ari, we want to help you. Trent,
This is the horse-faced woman. I don't know why you named her that, but it was beyond idiotic. You should never...
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself?
What does he have to say for himself? Shit, kid. What an interesting moniker.
Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Yes, I'm still Kim Kisuragi.
Still caught up in this crossfire, too.
You. Shit.
Maybe you've deserved it.
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. Speaking of which, the giant aerograffito in front of the building. The one that's burning. Did you do that? I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it. Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me, and...
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
I'm clinically depressed, Harry. Sorry if I wasn't in the mood to batter you up after you told us to fuck off. Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how?
Judging by the familiarity you feel toward him, he's right. Don't start guessing. Now's not a good time.
It's okay. I didn't come here to gloat or to fool you. Neither did he, actually.
That's right. Worried. I'm always worried about you. Every time you don't show up to work, you're a worry fest. She's worried about you. I'm worried about you. Even Special Consultant Backpedal is worried about you. Everyone worries instead of working.
Yes, I'm Tran Heilestam. I never said I wasn't Tran Heilestam. Mikael? Mikael's my son. No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead.
Him being there with his son, it was not a coincidence. It's difficult to see, but he was worried about you. And also interested in the Feld building.
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia.
He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on. Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Tron fucking Heidelstam, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show. Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your... Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forcing him to stay. It's a Major Crimes Unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit here.
They're your posse, or what remains of it.
The 41st isn't...
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die. Sure, you're not a superstar law official. Talk on the town is your Guillaume le Million reincarnate. I know this shit. Nothing has changed. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant.
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to...
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
He is. He's getting better. And I can confirm that he...
I believe he drank. People do that, especially this one. What they don't do is forget their whole life because of drinking.
But Detective Wigmer, he has blanked out before. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
The two cases in your ledger. The unsolvable case and the next world mural. Those cases were hard on...
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something... Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for its end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in a major crimes unit? Is he a cretin now?
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. Yeah. Just stand there. No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? Jacob Irv? I know who Jacob Irv is. I wanted to give you a chance to stop fucking me. How naive of me. You drove a 45,000 real police vehicle. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand. Not today, badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. So you forgot to drink? I don't buy it. Why do you smell like...
He's wounded. It's been a long week and he's handled an actual corpse.
I don't believe you. You're drunk. You let a suspect escape, a certain classier, because you...
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsohagi's. We know.
Oh well, if she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect or the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small time compared to the 7 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
Here comes the cavalry.
He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Detective, it's better if I...
It's so much better if he does this.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides again.
You've spent the week with him, on this case. On Lieutenant Yefretor Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the superstardom. He likes to, from time to time, allude to being a superstar law official. At first I thought it was a joke. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again...
You should yell something. Yes, let's let...
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea. Something I was not present for. But despite all this, he can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however, and he solved it. Near perfectly. In 1 week we have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator. Locked on the island, he apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species. A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflage.
He takes out the photo and shows it to the officers across the yard. You hear gasps beneath the howl.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the...
The killer did not seem to be aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is.
I must say, this is absolutely
Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym. The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son...
So, it is what a soldier.
Thank you, Trond. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory.
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
Jealousy. I thought this Lilianovich was an old man.
A strange psychosexual fascination, the result of spending all this time in solitude on the islands of this bay. And trauma too. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way, way more.
I've never doubted you can pull yourself together and work in bouts. Bouts don't last.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there. It will pass in time.
Female?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a
Incredible. Were there...
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates. Must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs.
It could maybe roll it, like a dung beetle.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so? Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogen.
That makes sense. Yes.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out...
In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve and knows a good guy for that.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of...
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science.
Without it,
You're doing good here. Perhaps quit while you're ahead? Or no?
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open, in Martinez, where Evrard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
And eyes, too. You're
Understood.
but a case against Everard.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutral.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk.
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry.
Still, good work with the missing person.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
What was that? It sounded like you set up a nightclub in the church. That's great. Anthroponaut is a great new career for you. After
4 kids were living in a tent on the ice. They were going to drown when it melted. It's not optimal, but the building was.
It's not that okay. Get off this subject.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. No, it didn't. It didn't turn out to be anthropometical again. Enough with these salary paid to me.
Paradox B is a fringe science magazine published in Grad. Its mission is to explain it doesn't look like the lieutenant wishes you to cut it out, is indeed what he is thinking.
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species. And so I have to.
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
You haven't been drinking, she thinks, so.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken.
Now you will finally get to know who you are. The man looks west, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over.
You really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Dora something. Dora Ingelund. Yeah.
Not Dora Dubois.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way...
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah. Or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Ingelund really tore incredibly bangable. She was incredibly fuckable. A beautiful bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a web.
Snow Welkin. Heartbreak, pain,
I've only seen a picture. But it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with our pretty...
Look, the sun is going down.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first. The middle class... My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic...
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
Who is Lynn?
She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over. Near where you live.
Fine. If we...
She and her husband were conducting the search. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some...
She is going to be over. Watch out, or she'll faint.
No. You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult.
He would immediately backpedal out of it. I told you it's not that bad.
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone... Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom monk. Work with Price? I'm flat.
Would fit in. And crazy enough, this truly came as a surprise to him.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even come.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to...
I do like the sound of...
He's really considering it.
Us? With the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? With the bad guy.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You are just understaffed. And everyone respects...
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torson and McLean to run the C-Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shit.
They are damn iconic though, Torson and McLean.
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage. God. There are four wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
He's anything but a loser, although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory shaped like a ladybird with two chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the street.
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a red...
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clear...
He means it. The RCM and its enemies, your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there.
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Revachol. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts.
Thank you again, Lieutenant. Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore.
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair. The fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is, and your moves on the church floor, which honestly were just jump aerobics.
The raw, robust stamina output. Also, this guy, and this guy too. God, even this javelin throwing freak here.
Of course.
He's been on about Mike again. I hate that guy. The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries, and incredible hope.
In your 20s or late 20s, you've really let yourself go since then. Yes, you taught gym in Cool. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher.
The smell of sweat and glue. Coulon is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building.
High school. Harry, your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Assel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you are so juvie.
His smirk suggests barely contained laughter.
Oh, you don't say. Does he also vault an impassable gulf of finance and...
It is getting cold out.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Tron brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the night sky, the great district sleeps. A black chessboard of old wooden houses. 80,000 living souls inside. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Dawson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomley Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?